idyllic scenery,
It's just beautiful here.
great communities,
You go into these towns and you meet people and they're very excited about the prospect of having a film there.
endless opportunities.
Being able to live in Georgia and see all the places you can go out and film or all the people you can work with, it creates a really great community.
A true blockbuster for business.
There's people who are discovering Georgia and wanting to move here because they recognize it's a great business environment.
Georgia checks off a lot of boxes for me.
This is the hot, sexy topic that everybody wants to talk about. It touches the lives of Georgians literally in every corner.
The TV and film industry has transformed the entire state. I'm Monica Pearson. Join me as we celebrate 50 years of TV and film in Georgia. The Georgia Film Office recently celebrated a huge landmark, more than 50 years of attracting TV shows, movies, and more to our state. From humble beginnings in Rabun County to state-of-the-art studios brimming with innovation, the growth of Georgia's entertainment industry has left a lasting impact.
When you see the money that has been invested in this state as far as infrastructure, I mean, we are in it for the long haul. There's a lot of people that are impacted by this business. And there are people, you know, at rental places and landscaping places and paint shops and, you know, just throughout the state, so many businesses are impacted.
An impact that very few imagined when the state's film office started in 1973.
Our office was started actually by then Governor Jimmy Carter in 1973 because of the 1972 film Deliverance, which was shot in Rabun County. So kind of inauspicious beginnings, but it's shot there, and Governor Carter thought, you know, this is great money coming from out of the state, and it affects a lot of people. He wanted to figure out how to get more of it. So our office was started the next year in '73.
And since then, Georgia has been in the spotlight thousands of times. You might recognize this house in Rome, Georgia from Stranger Things. Or perhaps Savannah from the feature film Devotion. Or the incredible architecture of the Candler Hotel in downtown Atlanta from Baby Driver.
If you go outside of the building and if you look from top to bottom, there's detail everywhere you look. It's been amazing how many different sets and concepts that people have walked into this door and said, you know what, this will work for this.
The primary draw to this location? Its past.
Our current owners, it was very important to them to maintain the historical aspects of this building. Our claim to fame is that we are living history in a beautiful building that was originally built by Asa Candler, the founder of Coca-Cola bottling. We even have the vault downstairs that held the recipe, the original recipe for Coca-Cola for a number of years. But that vault is still there. That's a favorite of art directors.
Historical details also attract TV shows and films to the Wimbush House in Midtown Atlanta.
The openness of the home, a lot of the architectural details, the arches, the columns, which was very significant. And a lot of the windows, the leaded windows, are original to the house.
The home's arrival to the big screen started with a phone call, then transformed into a relationship.
One of the first ones was an episode of Married at First Sight. They filmed a wedding here. Most recently, there was a movie with Anne Hathaway. So we are very film friendly.
And there's Piedmont Park, used in everything from Spider-Man to Anchorman 2 to Marvel movies. Every part of the 185 acres provides different looks.
I've been here for a lot of different films, TV series, and commercials. Sometimes it gets very crowded, and we try to keep our footprint small when we're here in the park. The last thing we want to do is damage the beauty and the nature of this place.
Beauty and nature, a big part of why Georgia has become a popular filming location.
Anything that needs beautiful scenery, mountains, lakes, rivers, is what draws the film industry to Rabun County. It's just such a beautiful place.
Georgia's arrival to the big screen dates back to the 1940s. But the state experienced unexpected growth from a film in the 1970s.
Deliverance brought an awareness to the Dillard House and our business here that was just phenomenal.
Nestled in the mountains, the Dillard House has welcomed guests from around the world for more than 100 years. The numbers began to grow after Deliverance.
Because of the movie industry, I believe this area was introduced to tourists in Florida, in Georgia, all over the world actually. And tourism over the years has grown significantly.
Filmed on the Chattooga River, the American thriller starred Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds, names still discussed decades later.
I was in my teens when Deliverance came, and oh my gosh, it was a big deal, but mainly Burt Reynolds, you know, he was the hot stuff. And I worked in a jewelry store, and he came in to buy gifts. He was very charming.
Deliverance drew in more productions and launched an entire new industry, whitewater rafting.
On the Chattooga, nobody had rafted it until we made the movie Deliverance.
Payson Kennedy served as a stuntman on Deliverance.
It was just amazing to see how they filmed this over several days and then splice it all together to look like something that happens in 5 or 10 seconds.
After the movie, Kennedy founded the Nantahala Outdoor Center, known for outdoor rafting trips.
We wanted it to be a community of outdoor people that enjoyed teaching others about the outdoors.
It really kicked off this whitewater industry. You probably wouldn't look at the script of Deliverance and say this is going to be a big tourism generator, but it is.
Decades later, another catalyst really ignited the TV and film industry in Georgia, the passage of the 2008 Entertainment Industry Investment Act.
And that made all the difference in the world. I mean, that really changed the trajectory for, you know, Georgia's business from doing, you know, 10 projects a year or less, you know, to where we are now, which is last year we did 412 projects.
It changed the trajectory for towns like Sonoy, Georgia, too.
There's been 26 film and TV projects shot in this town.
But there's one name that's known above the rest, The Walking Dead.
When it hit, and it hit hard, and they knew they had a huge success, they had to find a studio home. So they came to us. Fortunately, Herschel's Farm, which was the main set for season 2, was a property located adjacent to our studio, and they really liked it. And so that helped us win the show to come here. And then they never left, 11 seasons.
A remarkable journey, considering the town had just 5 businesses on Main Street in 2005.
Today, there are over 150 businesses on Main Street. We're 100% leased. We have a waiting list for retail. I'm building 5 new retail spaces, and I have 15 businesses that want them. And Sonoy is a household name internationally because of The Walking Dead. It's hard to put a price on the value of that.
A boost that leads to more jobs.
I think some people think it's a lot of, you know, Hollywood people coming in, and they bring as few people as they can because it costs them a lot of money. I think the average is 15% of the people are coming from out of state, and the other 85% are residents.
And trained crew benefits another growing industry, gaming.
Nice! When it comes to gaming, it requires creative talent, like film and TV, but also technical talent, like software, and Georgia has both. A lot of people know Georgia these days for film and TV, of course, because they see that peach on their favorite movies, but I thought for a while that Georgia had the ingredients to really be a center for gaming and esports.
The same tax legislation that fueled film production also set the stage for gaming growth.
Why Georgia for games? One is the talent that we have here because of film and TV and software and our university system, Georgia Film Academy and many great universities like Georgia State, SCAD, Kennesaw. Many of them have programs. You have companies like a skill shop, like Gray and Assembly. that are investing in the creative industry. And then culture. If you're making a game, you're making entertainment.
A united creative community looking forward to a great future in Georgia.
Right now, we want to keep the business, make sure that we can fill up all the sound stages that have been built here, make sure that the job growth continues, make sure that, more above the line people, producers and directors and people, storytellers are able to tell their stories here, and that it's more, more development is done here, more special effects and post-production is done here.
That's also why Gray Television chose to build new sound stages in Doraville, Georgia, on the site of an old General Motors plant. Assembly Studios offers everything a production needs on one lot.
We really couldn't imagine a better location for a film studio or a better use for an iconic piece of property. This will give another added opportunity to show Georgia off to the whole world. The Olympics put Atlanta on the map of the world. But I think the film industry and the television industry can ride it large.
The next 50 years in Georgia will be exciting to watch. A recent report found Georgia is poised to take over as the state with the highest amount of soundstage footage in the United States. I'm standing here at Assembly Atlanta, which is adding 350,000 square feet of stage space. Animal trainers, caterers, high-end carpet makers. All of these industries are now intertwined with the TV and film industry.
If you love it, you're not really working, you're just doing what you like to do.
We explore how passion combines with skill to create new opportunities. That's next. Georgia's entertainment industry has a ripple effect across multiple industries and is a huge contributor to our state's overall economy. Carpet outlets, antique malls, catering companies, even animal trainers benefit from the creative economy that's developed here in Georgia.
Oliver, photo up.
A lot of people look forward to Bring Your Dog to Work Day. Well, every day for us is Bring Your Dog to Work Day.
There is no such thing as a normal day for Greg and Carol Tresson.
We have had a chicken play piano before. We've taught chickens to do some interesting things, so they're motivated by food, just like, husbands and everything else in this world.
They're professional animal trainers, but their animals have dozens of television and film credits.
We teach the animals behaviors sometimes. They really take it to heart. I taught a dog to limp, and he did it really well. I'd take him to set and I'd ask him to sit or I'd ask him to lie down, and he'd say, "How about this one?" And he would limp.
From dogs and chickens to horses and rats, the couple works with all kinds of animals and keeps several on their farm in Ball Ground, about an hour north of Atlanta.
People think this is so glamorous, but Greg will get a call for maggots or, something that's kind of maybe gross,
flies.
Yeah, flies.
Our job is a lifestyle type job, and if you don't love it, then you really can't do it. But if you love it, you're not really working, you're just doing what you like to do. And I think we find ourselves doing that every day.
Their business has grown along with the TV and film industry, just like so many others in the state.
If you want to sit back and think about what the true impact of a film, it's like looking at a pond and you throw a rock in the pond, and it's the concentric circles of impact that follow that, and it follows all across the state. So you start at a carpenter, an antique store, a feed store. You look at all the different things that are local around that film, and then you spread out. You think about all the post-production, the jobs that go along with that, and it continues to grow.
Pat Wilson serves as the Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Economic Development. His main goal, creating jobs and investment opportunities in Georgia.
The creative industries are the backbone of what are driving a lot of new jobs in Georgia. If you look at the last 10 years, Georgia's actually led the nation in jobs created in film and entertainment and video. That is something that we're really proud of.
And it's not just an industry focused on Atlanta.
It really has touched all parts of the state.
Albany and Augusta and Savannah have all seen growth, but you look at a city like Toccoa in Northeast Georgia, where they've had a tremendous amount of activity.
Or a city like Dalton, where the carpet capital of the world now creates custom rugs for sets across the state.
We've done, I've lost count really, but up to 100 major motion pictures, 3 Clint Eastwood movies, 1 Marvel superhero movie. They bought $45,000 worth of hardwood floors and blew them all up in an explosion. We've done 4 seasons of Stranger Things. We've done 4 seasons of The Ozarks. That it just doesn't affect people in Atlanta. I'm sitting here in Dalton, Georgia, and it's been an incredible bonus for us to be able to work on all these movies.
Countless catering companies feel fortunate too.
The growth in the industry here in Georgia has been great and wonderful for our business.
Hanna Brothers Catering Company has prime real estate to serve the filmmakers at Trillett Studios. 8 years ago, they had a staff of about 50. Now they can have over 250 people at work, depending on production size.
And we've seen some really awesome growth. Many times we have films of about 4 or 5 film projects going at a time. Now, sometimes we have up to 9 and 10 going at one time. We have benefited from the tax incentives that are here. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate all of the hard work that goes into keeping those tax incentives here. And we try to do all we can do to support that because it benefits not only us, we've been able to help so many households and so many families just grow and be able to thrive as well. So we love what the film industry has done.
In Savannah, the second largest production hub in the state, there's a focus on business growth, but also on supporting the community.
Film Biz Recycling is an environmental nonprofit. We keep things out of landfills and we take donations from the film industry, but also the community.
Film Biz Recycling and Prop Shop noticed a need and delivered.
I worked on something where we had like brand new mattresses. My organization doesn't need those to take, we don't need to take up the space, but I found through the grapevine a woman that had just gone through cancer treatment and needed a new bed, and so we were able to deliver that to her.
The focus for the future, strategic job growth.
Where I feel like the most opportunity is going to be is training the workforce for the industry around the state and make this what has truly become a Georgia industry. There's no better way to give somebody new opportunities than to give them a job.
The total economic impact of the film industry in Georgia is in the billions. The opportunities in the TV and film industry should be available to everyone.
Georgia has become such a strong melting pot where you never know who you're going to meet.
Meet the teams who are pushing for sustainability and representation next. A growing industry always brings more opportunity, and right now there is no limit in Georgia. Meet 3 students who are working to make sure there are always available jobs.
I never would have dreamed coming into college this is where I would be right now.
It's lights, camera, action for students at the Backlight Film Festival.
Backlight is a statewide film festival that's really meant to elevate our students and highlight their work. A big part of Backlight's mission is really uniting everyone together, whether that's different colleges and universities and with industry professionals and filmmakers in the state of Georgia and people just passionate about film.
Collaboration is key, since students from all majors have a critical role in the festival.
One of the reasons we started Backlight was just at the University of Georgia to connect our journalism, ad PR, and student filmmakers to give them a real hands-on experience working a festival, whether it's reporting from the carpet, escorting talent, and doing press at the event. It's really cool to see everybody get to work together that way.
While the focus is on students, the goal remains to contribute to Georgia's growing industry.
For Backlight, we really want to emphasize on keeping students, once they graduate out of college, working in the film industry in Georgia. And Backlight's main goal this year is to really create and establish those relationships with industry professionals and the graduating or existing students at the schools. It creates a really great community and a really great environment to keep that traction going.
Film festivals across the state reflect the same mission: create new opportunities.
We are part of this wonderful film industry ecosystem that has developed here in Atlanta and throughout the state of Georgia. We're proud to champion the film arts and attract filmmakers here to our festival.
And also celebrating where the industry is headed.
The Atlanta Film Festival is the central starting point for having folks in the industry come together, strategize how they can work together, bring more business and commerce to Georgia, do more things in Georgia, have workforce development in Georgia, which is a huge initiative for the Georgia Economic Development and Georgia Film Academy, and ultimately bringing sustainability to the market.
Sustainability for everyone in our state.
Georgia has become such a strong melting pot where you never know who you're going to meet. It's nice to be a PA and to be on set and all that, but you're not going to make anything happen for your community unless you are at that level where you're able to call some shots.
That's why the Georgia Latino Film Alliance wants to expand training and representation.
You can see Latinos being represented as narcos, the maids, and we're not that. We're not that.
We need more people writing roles for Latinos the way they really are. Right now, Latino representation in television and film is a small fraction of what it actually is in the world.
The opportunity is here. Why would you have to go to LA or New York? I mean, they're beautiful places, but here's where you can actually get things done, right? And grow your career from there.
I remember people were coming here looking for background extras and then little roles here and there. And now they're casting 100% actors, local actors that are being exposed into the big industries.
Georgia is a special place, and the next 50 years will be tremendous to watch. For more information on the TV and film industry and how you can help keep jobs here, visit whygeorgia.com. I'm Monica Pearson.